I'm going to tell a million stories, and maybe one will hit home, and you'll be like, wow, that happened to me. And it's not about me. What is? You know, television is a very, very crazy beast. I learned so much at Tyra. This is real emotion. This is something that I experienced.
I want the world to see what I have always seen, and that is the love that you have for just being yourself.
I love this person who knows who he is, who can make people laugh.
I think the script I gave you was a little bit different, but I'll take that.
Okay. Sorry.
I'm drinking at work because it's my show. I drink on my show. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Do It Like Danny. We were trying to do the ASMR edition, but it wasn't quite working out because I'm just too freaking loud.
That's a good one.
We tried to keep up with the growing trend of hi. But it wasn't working. It didn't work. And maybe next time we'll figure it out. I don't know. Hopefully you all had a great week, and hopefully you enjoyed last week's episode. Thank you again for listening and for watching. Please remember to like and follow our brand new Instagram page, which is Do It Like Danny Show, and our TikTok, which is Do It Like Danny Show also too. TikTok has been very busy, huh, Louie?
Yeah. It's always fun to post there. A lot of people seem to enjoy it, and what do you say when they interact? They like to interact with us on there too. You get a lot of messages, and I sometimes I'm like, oh, this will and it's like a message. I go, damn it, I shouldn't have opened that.
Yeah, don't open them because there's one guy on there that is like we used to talk back in the day, and it was just like too much.
Oh, okay.
It was too much, and he's young. He's like, I don't know, 26 or
I know
something.
exactly who you're talking about because I've seen the message. I haven't opened
Did you see
it.
the one where he's waving?
Yeah.
That one? Well, there's two of them.
There's two of them.
No, there's two of them. But the one I'll talk to, he's fine. But he's I shouldn't even blow him up. Oh my God.
I'll just bleep all that.
It's like, yeah, bleep all that out. But the one that's on there, I ghosted him. He reached out to me. I blocked him from everything. And yes, I know I probably shouldn't have ghosted because I don't like to be ghosted myself. The one time I was ghosted during COVID, we have to relive that. But yeah, I mean, he's young, and I'm sure he's a nice guy, and it wasn't serving me anymore.
Have you asked all the young men? Now that you have a experience with the next generation, you're like, I just don't have time for you guys.
You know what it is, honestly, like, you know, with this whole culmination of doing this show, it's been, repetitiveness, but it's been very cathartic.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is it has been like, I'm focusing more on myself now. I'm trying to swim more. I am trying to only partake in things that serve me.
Yeah.
Not things that, you know, are more drama. Like, you know, listen, I had to say goodbye to a friend, and we'll talk more about that later, but
I'm a little sad too, but I get it though.
There was good
it's a 50-50.
Yeah. But at some point, it's like it was no longer serving me. Like it was bringing me down.
Yeah.
And listen, have I made mistakes? Absolutely. Am I innocent in all this? Absolutely not. Am I a victim? Fuck no. I'm not a victim. I'm not. But there just becomes a point where I'm just tired of getting talked to in certain ways.
Yeah.
And I'm really trying to be more thankful, this is Thanksgiving week. Oh my God, we should have said happy Thanksgiving to everybody. Happy Colonizer Day.
It's coming up.
Was it Indigenous or that already passed?
No, I thought it was the day after.
Thanksgiving is like Happy Colonizers Day. There's something, right? There's something, and if fucking cancel me if you want to. Fuck off. I don't care. It's the truth. You know, Columbus, they landed, they raped, they pillaged. And they call it Thanksgiving.
Uh-huh.
Oh, wonderful. For those of you that don't know, you should research it. You should figure it out because it wasn't a good thing.
No, was it?
But for some reason, we're all giving thanks to all of the white people who so graciously gifted us with macaroni and cheese and green bean casserole. So
I like mac and cheese though.
So yes, I'm trying to be more thankful, and the key word is trying. I'm trying to be more thankful, and I'm trying to be more cognizant of what everybody brings to my inner circle.
Yeah, I mean, from my standpoint, because I've been around, I saw. I think you did what you possibly could in that situation. And I think it's good that you're taking a step back. I think my next question, though, is if said person maybe grew up a little bit, would you allow them back? Is there always room to come back into your life under different circumstances? Because people do change. It happens all the time.
Listen, he was a great friend.
Yeah.
He was a great friend. I think that what I'm realizing now is, I think if he stopped drinking, I think that would help immensely.
Yeah.
I think if he stopped drinking, that would help immensely.
Yeah.
I don't like the person that he became
Absolutely.
when
yeah.
he drinks or drank.
Yeah. It just became too much.
Yeah, and everybody experienced it, so it's
Yeah.
not like I'm
No.
telling these like
No.
tall tales. Like
You have a whole family party that
everybody
experienced
experienced it. What I didn't appreciate was the position that he took, which was, well, I was not in the right frame of mind. I can't be held responsible for the things that I did when I was drunk.
that. Yeah, that's...
Which, if that's not the most adolescent statement that anybody could ever make, it's like, listen, I'll be honest. If I powwow and drink way too much, I'll be like, damn, bitch, I threw it down.
Yeah.
Not that like it's a badge of courage, but it's more of, yeah, I did it. Listen, I have to be responsible
Yeah.
and say that I did it. I don't pretend that I did not do it. I mean, that's really stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I would never sit there and be like, I was not in my right frame of mind. I didn't know what I was doing, so you can't hold me responsible.
Yeah.
Like, so when you kill somebody, that's
I wasn't under my
like,
right frame. Yeah.
what's when are you going to be finally responsible?
Yeah. No, I hear you.
Like he was like, listen, and we both did a lot for each other, so
Yeah.
it's not like, it was a one-way street. It was
Yeah.
definitely a two-way street. I enjoyed helping him because he helped me a lot also too. I just didn't enjoy the aftermath, or I'm sorry, the in the process of the drinking. It was a lot.
yeah. And some of the aftermath, I would think,
And
too.
some of the aftermath
Yeah.
also too. It was a lot. And you know what? It was bringing me down.
Yeah.
It was bringing me down. Because, listen, my good friend Linda, whose compound we're in now, we used to drink like a bottle of wine all the time.
Yeah.
And it was her that kind of made me realize, oh my God, we really shouldn't be drinking this much on a Monday.
Like how you threw that in really, really
Right? But what we do now is like we just go like, literally like a
Yeah.
whisper. And so I'm always impressed if I have, like last night I came home, I had a very busy day, which is why I have no voice, because I was helping a friend sand and tape down his living room, and we didn't paint quite just yet, but we were sanding the what do you call that shit? I don't know, the walls?
Yeah, the walls. Just say
Yeah,
the walls.
I'm not a carpenter. I slept with them, but I'm not a carpenter by any means whatsoever. I had not one clue what I was doing, but it looked good.
Yeah.
So his roommate and I, we were doing it because he was working and I was helping him because he's helped me also too. So,
Yeah.
listen, nothing is beneath me, and he needed the help. And so like the plaster on the wall needed to be sanded down smooth. So it gets primed and get ready for paint. So that's what we basically were doing. Well, I didn't wear a mask.
Which you should have.
I know, because I always had the vacuum. I was sucking up all the dust. But every once in a while you get a big puff of it. And and after a while I was like, why are my eyes like sticking together? And I kept coughing. Excuse me. So this morning I woke up and I was like, hello.
All deep.
Hi, how are you? I had this like total deep voice. I was trying to keep it, but then I started drinking hot water and honey, and now like,
That's funny.
and then actually it's a double dose of stuff for my bad lungs, because then last week I went out and my friend was smoking immensely.
Yeah,
so
you had mentioned that.
it's been pow after pow after pow. I didn't even go swimming today. I feel guilty. I didn't go swimming. I know it's so bad.
Hey, can we congratulate you? You haven't got sick so far. It's coming up. But
Oh no.
you beat it.
Don't say it. I know I beat COVID, huh? I beat PlayStation 5, or was it PSV or RSV or HPV or HR 101?
There's always a new strain.
Yeah, there's
it's
always
like
a-
marijuana. There's
I-
just a new strain all the time.
I mean, but I was getting it like every 5 minutes.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
in all honesty, I'm kind of glad that like I didn't get the ESP or whatever it was, this version. Not to make fun of you, I've already had it, and I am exposed to quite a few different people.
Yeah.
In both ways.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to create better energy by helping the people that have helped me.
Yeah.
In the past, we accept help, and then we kind of just stray away from those people, knowing that they're always going to be in our court, right? Listen, I'm guilty of it. Everybody's guilty of it. But in the day, it's time to pay up.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where I'm at right now. I want to make sure that, the folks and family that are, at least hello, hi, I want to reciprocate that. I don't want to fall off the deep end. So I did that yesterday, and then I drove back home, and I had, going back to wine, I came home and I was like, Linda had given me a bottle. And there was like a little bit left. And so I ended up having 2 glasses. And I was pretty fucking buzzed.
Well, if you don't drink all the time too now.
I was super buzzed. I was like, oh my God. I was like, woo, do I want to eat? And I was just so tired. I literally passed out in the bed and I didn't even take a shower. I was like, which is very rare for me because I'm all about like, I take a shower every 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So I woke up this morning. I was like, I was a little chalky. My eyes were very crusty from all the plaster and stuff. And I was like, oh, God. But yes, going back to being thankful and friends. And this week is Thanksgiving. And I know that a lot of people that listen to the show are going to be hanging out with their families and having fun. Hopefully it'll be drama-free. Or maybe you enjoy the drama.
Yeah, some people enjoy it.
Listen, we used to have a little drama here and there. Our grandma used to drink, I wouldn't say a lot. But when she would get drunk, she was hilarious. Yeah. She was so funny. Not that she never needed it to be funny to begin with, but it's just, a lot of fun little truths came out because she would sit there and her grandma would say, how the hell did I give birth to all these crazy kids?
Yeah, she would all the time.
She would, but she was definitely enjoyable, and she will always be missed. And the same thing with my grandparents. I used to love my grandma. She made me laugh so hard. My grandma Irene.
Yeah.
So when my grandfather would come in, or anyone in general, and if they didn't address her like, "Hi, grandma," "Hi, what Irene," or whatever, "Hello," she would say, "Oh gosh, not even a go to hell," right? So you pick up all these like little nuances from your grandparents, and you pick up things from your parents, and you pick up all this insanity, like especially the creator. And it's been a lot of reflection. That's probably the word that I was fishing for. It's a lot of reflection. I didn't buy a rock. I'm so sorry. Not making fun. And I didn't burn a candle or choke a chicken or any of that stuff. But it's been a lot. It's been a lot of reflection. It's been a lot of reflection, and I've been very happy with the past 2 weeks.
That's good.
I have been very peaceful. Very peaceful. And a part of me, going back to the friend that I had to, part ways with, I felt really guilty the first week.
Yeah.
I felt really guilty. I'm not going to lie. I just felt like, here this person helped me, maybe I was wrong, right? Not that there was a right and a wrong in any situation, but maybe I wasn't, really looking at every single angle.
Yeah.
Or this.
You get that idea. Maybe I jumped the gun. Maybe I was too not hesitant, but maybe I just went for it and I should pull back. I understand what you mean.
And I really did. Honestly, I went back. I looked at all the text messages. I listened to all the messages, and I was like, you know what? No, it was the right decision.
Yeah.
It was the right decision. No matter what was said on his side, it was the right decision. And like I said, I went through my guilty phase, and then I kind of went a little bit like an angry phase, like, how dare he speak to me that way? And now I'm just like, it is what it is. Yeah. I wish him the best. I don't wish any harm on him at all whatsoever. I don't want, him. I'm sure he listens to the show. He's still on season 1. But by the time he gets here, maybe he'll stop drinking.
Yeah.
And maybe I'll get a phone call. I don't know. I don't want to change people.
Yeah.
They need to grow and change on their own.
On their own, yes.
Growth and change are 2 different things. In my mind. But so thanks. I'm thankful for my family. I'm thankful for, like my mom, my dad, and whatever bullshit everyone's going through. I'm so thankful for them. I don't pick sides. I don't fucking care. I really don't, because I'm like, you get older at this point, and I think that's one thing for you, Lou, and for everybody at home, or even the young people that are listening to this. It goes by very fast.
Yeah. Yeah,
and in a brief moment, it's gone, or it can be taken away.
Mm-hmm.
So it's one of those things where it's time I need to start being really, really appreciative of what's around me and what surrounds me.
Yeah.
And maybe that sounds cliche and very like, how great for you. But, Thanksgiving is a rough time for a lot of people. Some people don't have a lot to be thankful for. Some people have a lot of abundance to be thankful for, and they don't appreciate it.
Yeah.
And you see that. You see people posting stuff on Instagram. And actually, I'd like to just kind of put a pin in that for a second. That's my favorite thing to say. And I'm just going to ask everybody, maybe at home and maybe you also too. So I don't know if you have this, but I do have some friends on Instagram that constantly post about how sober they are.
Ooh, do I have anybody who's that like AA involved? I don't believe that. I have, you know what I get? I get a lot of God is good, God bless me, I'm so blessed. I get a lot of that.
Yeah. Which is just luck.
Yeah.
But, you know, there's no such thing. No, that's horrible. I shouldn't say that. But yeah, believe in what you want. No, I have a few people on my Instagram that post like the day. I hit the microphone. I have a lot of people that post on Instagram that post, you know, oh, I haven't had a drink in, 4 years and 15 minutes. And I think in their mind, and maybe they are. Maybe I'm completely wrong. Maybe they are helping people. Maybe there's someone out there that's like, oh, wow, this person's done it for 4 years. I can do it too. But also, too, I kind of feel like I'm being shamed because I do drink.
Well, I think you're taking a little too personal because I think in the program that's what they teach because they do want others to see that other people can do it. And remember, it's up to you if you think you have a problem. You know what I'm saying? If you like to drink, that's okay.
Well, I mean, listen, it's like, listen, my parents don't drink.
Yeah.
My father, like, imbibes a little bit. My mom really never drank at all whatsoever. I mean, your parents do or don't.
My mom and my dad both do.
Okay. So, I mean, I don't remember, like, our aunts, like, really partaking in it. On my dad's side, we do. But my mom's side, not so much. But... I feel like it's just ingrained in our culture and our being. I mean, like I said, going back to you getting a plane, and it's like, what can I get for you? You're like, I'm going to go somewhere. I feel like sometimes it's a celebration. Yes, can it be abused? Absolutely. But there's also a point where, I feel like it's a not I'm going to say privilege, but I feel like it's a gift.
To drink?
I feel like it's a gift to drink, to be able to celebrate. And some people will probably argue with me and go, oh, it's chemicals. It probably is. But 99.9% of the things that we eat and drink are chemicals.
Yeah.
Unless you're growing it straight from the ground yourself in your own barn, which then invite me over and I'll come over and get your stuff.
I think the difference between you and somebody who needed to go sober is once they have one, they can't stop until they take it to such a maximum. You can have however many you want. You wake up the next day and go, I don't need to do that for a little while. But they will wake up the next day and continue it. And that's where I think the issue is. And I kind of can speak on this because my stepfather is recovering.
Okay.
So I kind of have a little bit of an understanding of things that he would say, what the program's about, and just stuff like that. So
yeah. I have a new little friend too, and he's sober, but he's not so in your face about it.
Yeah.
And, he recognizes, and he was telling me the story the other day. He's like, I used to just sit at home and drink alone.
Yeah.
And
See,
I'm like,
that's
wow.
sad.
Like, but then I thought, well, shit, I did that last night, right? Like,
but how many times a night do you do that?
I've done it twice this week.
Okay.
But I had one glass one night, and then last night I had 2 glasses because I'm just going to finish the bottle, right?
Yeah.
There was no pressure, but I had like a little popcorn. It was like my little snack. I didn't really eat a big dinner, and it was just a way for me to like relax myself.
Yeah.
I was totally tired. I drove a long way. I drove back. There was traffic, and by the time I got home, I was just like, "Oh, I just want to like relax."
Yeah, you just want to take off that edge.
I didn't even turn the TV on. I didn't turn the TV on. I talked to my friend, my other white friend, and I talked to him for a while, and I think I was starting to fall asleep on the phone on him, and he goes, "Okay, Danny, I'm gonna go now." And I'm like, "Oh my god, oh my god, I'm so sorry." Okay, talk to you later. Bye. Because I was just so exhausted. I think I was asleep by like almost 11.
Oh, wow.
Which is rare for me. But on the other side of that too, because I drank the wine, that shit started to metabolize, and I popped up at 5. I was like, I'm awake. And
I think that's what separates it. So like you can do that. It's a casual thing. It's to take off the edge. But for other people, I mean, that's all they do. They don't even eat. They just drink and they keep drinking. And then they go, well, I'm out. I need to go to the store while they're, drunk.
Yeah.
I think that's just where the difference is. And I think that's why some of them celebrate, because they know where they could be and they know where they're at and the struggle that it takes to even get there.
Yeah.
I think for us, we don't really have that kind of addiction but other people do. And I think that's
God.
something we can't.
So I'm basically being a hater.
No, I think you're just viewing it in your lens, which is normal. We all do that.
Yeah.
And that's it.
I just feel it's sometimes, like I said, going back to what I said before, which is like, we get it. So it's not like, I'm happy for you. And I'm not trying to be a jerk about it. But like, you're putting quotes up there and you're like, it's day 4,724. And I'm like, I'd be good at 1,000 days. You know what I mean? Like, do we have to have day 4,274? Can't we wait till day 5,000? Like, can we start rounding things up? Can't we wait to celebrate like when it's an actual, I don't know. I'm not trying to take away from someone's sobriety at all whatsoever. And with this conversation, there's a few people that I can think of that need to stop drinking. And they know who they are.
I just think it's funny. You're like, yeah, we get it. And I get it. I understand.
I get it.
I see what you're trying to say.
But I think it's a little cheesy. And then I'm nosy. So then I'll go back and I'll look to see if anybody liked it. The post. And like 3 people will have liked it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, that's kind of sad. You know what I mean? You would think people would be like, yay, we're happy for you. But then I think, does everybody share the same sentiment as myself?
Maybe.
It's almost like the food pics, like and gym. So for a while, I totally found that. Oh my God, I'm at the gym, taking pictures of, my handstands and my splits. And then I was like, this is kind of stupid, right? And now you see on your Instagram feeds, like everybody's like, I'm at the gym, and like just the feet on the stair stepper. And I'm like, okay, we get it. Like we get it. Like, I don't know.
Everybody goes to the gym.
Yeah.
We get it.
I mean, I try to go as much as I possibly can.
Yeah.
Or your food. Like, I don't know. Am I being a brat? I think I'm being a brat. I think I'm being an old man.
Yeah, that's kind of like an old man stance.
I'm being an old man.
I think it's just a thing of.
I should let people be. I should let them all be. Sorry, folks. My bad. Moo, moo, moo.
I thought for a second there you were going to bring up politics. I was like, oh, no, don't do it.
Oh,
and
God,
you didn't.
no.
And I was like, okay, good.
No, and listen, and that's another thing, too. People try to, like, make you feel bad on Instagram. Like, if you don't talk about politics, then you are agreeing to this and you're agreeing to that. And it's like, I'm really not. But listen, there are a lot of horrible things that are going on in the world. And what I can say, to not get political, is what's really interesting to me, I'm trying to wrap my head around it. People are protesting. People are in the streets. People are fighting amongst each other. But they're not back in the country that they need to be in.
And that's where I think we should leave it, because I think that's exactly what should be talked about. And that's exactly where we should kind of allow people to think that it's easy to do it here.
Yeah.
And try going somewhere else and doing that.
Yeah. And like they're going to chop your head off or throw rocks at you. It's like you came here to America for this like amazing opportunity. And I get it. Listen, anybody getting killed is a horrible, awful act, period. Like, nobody should go through that. And then, like, little kids, like, little kids are dying, and that's so sad. Like, the whole entire picture is sad.
Yes.
But at this point, when little kids are dying and they're bombing hospitals, I really don't think it becomes sides. I just think you're a human being. And yes, it's easy for you to go out into your backyard in Beverly Hills and you had a glass of wine before you go out there and start protesting. But those people that are in it, that are listening all night long to rockets launching, to bombs going off on both sides, right? To people crying, or maybe they're trapped under rubble and the last thing you hear is them screaming.
Yep.
Like, I just think it's kind of hypocritical.
Yep.
My personal opinion.
Nail, hammer, and that's honestly, I don't want to get into it.
Yeah, I don't.
But
need anymore.
Yeah. I think that's the point that should be brought to the table.
Yeah.
Personally,
it's easy for you to fly your ass over to fucking
Thank you.
Go over there.
Yep.
And do that.
Thank you.
And go make change. You want to make change because you sure as hell ain't gonna make change here. We're not going through it.
No.
We don't understand.
Thank you. Exactly. We don't understand. And unless you're there, you'll never understand. I don't care how many books, I don't care how many articles, how many blog posts, how many Twitter feeds and posts that you read. I don't give a shit. Unless you're in it, you don't understand.
And those people should be thankful that they have the ability and the privilege to go and have a glass of wine and have dinner and then walk out and protest.
Yes.
And then go right back to the comfort of their air-conditioned or heated home, there's no holes in the walls, and there's a fucking roof,
And it's quiet.
and they need to be thankful.
Yeah. And a lot of celebrities want to open their mouth. It's wild because I made that same comment to myself. I go, how easy it is to tweet and then go about your day. It's more or less this weird hive mindset of, I want people to know where I stand, but I don't really want to truly get involved. And it's a sick disease, in my opinion.
It is. And it's just the way that our nation is gravitating towards, and it's very sad.
Yeah.
And, you know, with the upcoming political elections here in our own America, I mean, it's just a cesspool of insanity right now.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, no one's going to win. No side's going to win.
We're fighting over colors. You understand that, right? Are you a blue or are you a red? Are you fucking kidding me? That's what you want to protest and fight about? At the end of the day, a color? How elementary. Sorry, I'll see myself out.
What a privilege, though. What a privilege.
Yeah, is that
what
privilege?
a privilege.
I find
What
that
country can you go
disgusting.
to? And when you're like, oh my God, you're wearing red and then go crazy, right? They're going to shoot you.
Yeah.
They're going to take their guns, or they're going to handcuff you and throw you in jail or question you or detain you for hours on end.
Yeah.
But we don't do that here.
No.
Yeah.
That's something to be thankful that we don't do that here.
So I am very thankful.
I'm learning. I brought it back.
Yeah. Good job. So I'm very thankful in our thankful episode today. Thankful that we didn't do the ASMR. And thankful that I feel like I'm growing and I'm changing. I
That's
definitely
good.
feel like I'm growing and changing.
That's very good.
Yeah. It took me a minute, but here I am. Hi. Yeah.
I think the show is changing. I think people are starting to get more involved. I have a lot of friends that have been messaging me, especially for this last episode that came out. I had 2 friends that I would never expect to really be that involved. Yeah, I felt like they were kind of making fun of me because I had the show. And when they start quoting things back about the show, that's what kind of was like, oh, that's nice. It's I appreciate that because I didn't expect it. So I like that. I'm thankful for those people that really listen, including you, Angelo, because we know you're the #1 listener. and you know, it's so ironic that when Angelo is on, his episodes always seem to jump to the highest numbers. So I wonder, Angelo, are you watching all of those back to back to back? If you are, that is hilarious.
It's on repeat. It's on repeat.
He drives those numbers.
But you know, God bless him. I'm thankful that, you know, that he is so supportive.
Yeah.
Again, thankful. I'm thankful that we get to go to Santa Paula and film in the compound. I know he wants Park to come on the show. I'm thankful that we've decided to figure out a different way.
Yes.
He's like, you bitch. I'm not gonna hear him now, you bitch. But I'm thankful. I'm definitely thankful. You know, listen, I'm thankful that the roommate is not trying to kill me anymore. The ex-roommate.
You've
I've
been
gone
taking
back-
those drink sticks. Oh,
Yeah.
it's clean.
Well, they make a nail polish now, so you can dip and see if you're getting, you know, drugged.
Oh my God.
I'm thankful for that. I saw him the other day and he looked so miserable, and I was like, oh God. And he came up and I was like, hi. And it took a lot for me to do that because, of course, you know, I'm such a Leo.
Yeah, you're over it.
I'm just over it. And once I'm over it, I don't want to revisit it.
Yeah.
And I don't think that there's any like, oh, hi. Like, I feel like I'm being fake at that point.
Yeah.
Like, if I'm saying hello to you when we've had an outing, if you can understand, like, we've had an issue, and maybe that's adolescent of me. Maybe I should still love everybody. But then sometimes I'm like, no, you know what?
Not everybody deserves energy. You have to understand that.
Fair. And also, too, not every time, listen, just because you take the high road every time doesn't mean the air is the same up there.
Absolutely, yeah. It changes.
It can be thinner.
You know, I hear you. I just love the elements that have come together that have brought everything for this show, including Angelo, even though we love to jest on Angelo's behalf.
Oh, you mean make fun of him?
Yes. I do love going and
I'm just
video with
thankful
him.
that he's starting to bring celebrities that are like alive now. To be like, you bitch.
Yeah, he's just always a good time. And then whenever we see Darnella, she's usually a good time too.
Wait, who? Who?
Should I put her on another milk carton?
Who? I think we're beyond milk carton at this point.
She dead.
I think we need to call.
Put arrested.
I think we need to call UNICEF because I feel like Darnella she got taken.
Yeah.
She's
You
Not
would
that I
think
wish that
she went
upon
back to Hawaii to help rebuild.
a volcano.
She just disappeared.
She's gone.
Yep.
That's like hurting a cat. God. I mean, we do enjoy her, but I mean, it's like, it's like time to grow. I get it. She's busy, but aren't we all?
Yes.
We're all busy.
We're all busy.
And that's what I'm learning also, too. It's like I'm trying not to, like in the past, I'd be like, I'm so busy. I got this. And I would impart my like busyness on people.
Yes.
And now I'm just like, oh, I'll do this or I'm going to do that or whatever. And I'm trying not to, push that agenda on other people because everybody's busy.
Yeah.
Everybody's going through bullshit, and no one's bullshit is
more important.
Is more important. Or I'm sorry, my bullshit is not more important than other people's bullshit.
That's what I'm trying to learn myself too.
Yeah, we're all going through it. And I'm trying to be kinder. I'm trying so hard.
Hey man, when you're out there driving those different personalities,
try so
I will be
hard.
the one sitting here going, "It is okay.
I
understand."
I dig deep. And I try. And there's just days where I'm just like, no, this isn't working.
You ever just dig and there's nothing left?
Yeah. And I pull over sometimes now. I take a few minutes. Like the other day, this girl was in my car and she took a phone call. It was the most depressing phone call. And like what people don't realize is that when you're in somebody else's space and they're imparting their bullshit, right? You're kind of absorbing that.
Yeah.
Like I absorbed the energy, and she was like, oh my God, it was a really sad story. She had just come out of the hospital.
Do you want to share this?
Oh, totally. And she had just come out of the hospital, and she was a model. She didn't look like a model. She probably had a rough night. Her current boyfriend, he did something, and they had to amputate part of his leg.
Ooh.
Yeah, like it was pretty heavy shit, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, she took her shoes off and put her feet up Indian style. And I don't know. There's just something gross to me. It's like feet should be on the floor, not on my seats, right? And a part of me was like, I was going to like school her on it. But then I was listening and I was like, it doesn't even matter. At this point, she's going through her own bullshit. Because then from there, she started talking to her mom, right? First she was talking to a friend, and she told the whole story about the whole amputee and how she reached out to this other amputee guy. Sorry, I hate to think. How she reached out to another amputee guy who came to visit her boyfriend in the hospital because, she began like, no offense, what white people do. She did like this whole phase thing. Like there's the mourning of the limb.
God.
There's the emotional, like she went to this whole like category. And of course it was a 45-minute fucking ride. Okay.
All the self-help books that she's read.
I like lowered the radio volume, and I was trying to think of happy thoughts. Think of like, I didn't want to absorb any of that. And I was trying to zone out. I really was trying to zone out. But it just kept going on. And she just had this like depressing voice.
Yeah.
And it was, the amputee. And then she switched over to a phone call. She goes, oh, my mom's calling me. I'll call you back. And she switched over to her mom. And then I guess they're from somewhere in the East Coast. And she goes, well, Mom. And the mom was asking her, she goes, this is what happened. And the same story all over again, right? So I'm like, I'm getting it twice. And then she goes, well, we're thinking of moving back. And I don't know what the mom said or what she didn't say. But the girl goes, you don't sound happy. And she goes, so are we not expected to have a warm welcome? And I couldn't hear what the mom was saying. I was dying. So then I'm like, now I'm invested.
Cheese man.
Now I'm like, yeah.
Cheese man.
Yeah, cheese man. Is it D's man? No. Do it like Danny. Do it like Danny D's man. It's D's man. There you go. D's man. So now I have D's man. Because now I'm like, oh, well, now the story's getting interesting, right? So I'm like a Dalmatian. My ear was
Pulled the
up.
bullhorn and put it to you.
I was like, I lowered the radio further, right?
All the windows are up. Everything's locked.
Totally. I totally did that. And I was like trying to listen. And so the daughter's talking to the mother, and now they're kind of going back and forth. And she goes, well, if you don't want us home for the holidays, then we won't come home. She goes, because the flight is this, and then I don't know, he was going to need a wheelchair, and she was going through all of like this, the whole process of transferring her boyfriend. So then she goes, well, Mom, I'll talk to you later. right? And I'm like, oh my God, that ended so like dramatic, right? So then somebody else calls her. I'm like, damn, this bitch is busy, right? So like another friend calls her.
She was a model, remember that?
She was a model. And now I hear the story of how they're thinking of, well, you know, they either might move back home to East Coast or they may move for a little while temporarily to Vietnam. And because she's a model, she knows people, and they could book her in Vietnam, and she could make money, and blah, 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 all these other things, right? And I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. I started listening again. And then she begins to tell the friend of how her and the guy met. And it was a little cheesy, I have to admit, and this is horrible, because I'm being super judgy, but I'm going to tell a story. So, you know, she begins on how they met, and how, like, on their first date, the man said to her, you know, I'm going to marry you someday. Right?
What?
And so the girl goes, and in that moment, I like chuckled because here was this guy who I didn't even really know. And he actually said that to me on the first date. And now look where we are. I was like, oh my God, right?
I'm sure he's just as surprised. He's like, oh shit, that line really did work.
Right? Poor thing is he's amputee. He's laid up in the hospital.
Well, I mean, if she's going to stick with him, good for her.
Right? Yeah.
Maybe they are meant to be together.
They are meant to be together, but so then she began to tell the whole story again about the amputee thing, and I was like, oh my God, this is the third time I've had to hear it. So by the time she was done, by the time that ride was over, I was exhausted. I was exhausted. Back and forth, amputee leg. I learned lots of things, learned the phases of grief. I learned like all these, I was like, oh. It was just like too much. So I literally had to pull over and I opened all the windows and I was like,
just airing it out.
Airing it out. Like, you brought all that insanity into my space. And I don't think people realize that.
Yeah.
I don't think people act responsibly when they step into an environment with their own energy. And I'm going to say this. Am I guilty of that? Abso-fucking-lutely. I'm totally guilty of that. But I generally would like to try to toot my own horn and think that mine would be kind of, well, although insane and erratic, at least it would be funny.
Yours is fun, yeah.
You know what I mean?
You have a fun, high energy.
Well, not to everybody, but yeah.
You're like a delicacy.
Yeah. Like David said, I'm like cilantro.
Yeah.
You either love me or you hate me.
Or you're allergic. One of the two.
Or you're allergic. Hopefully you're allergic half the time. So that was that. So I was thankful when that ride was over. I was very thankful.
I can imagine.
Whew, that was rough though. I didn't even know where to, at that point I was like, oh my God, I'm so depressed. It was a lot. It was a lot. And it wasn't even my life. I wasn't even living it.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine what she was going through. But yeah, so going back to again, listen, everybody's going through bullshit. It's rough for everybody. And on a happy note, I got a really great lady the other morning. I took her friend to the airport and this was like 5 a.m. And I picked up this really, really vibrant, energetic woman at 5 a.m., which I thought was really funny because I can be very vibrant and energetic, sans coffee, at 5 a.m. because I'm just a hyper person. And so we literally were like 2 chickens on my car because she started talking about Disney and they were going to Disneyland that day. And I said, oh my God, I have a pass. She's like, oh my gosh, I love Disney. She was wearing a hat that had a cast member, like her name on it.
Oh, cool.
And it was like the nameplate. I go, oh my God, did you work there? And she goes, oh my God, I worked there for like, and like we were like going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So then she says to me, she's like, oh my God, so what are your secrets? I'm like, well, you have to go do this first, and then you go do this, and then you go do that, and then you're gonna have lunch. And it depends on what you want to spend. So she's like, oh my God, these are all great. Oh my God. So she was so funny. We were reminiscing. We were sort of almost the same age. And then I dropped her off, and she's like, I'm like, oh, the ride's over. And she's like, no, it was so much fun.
I'm surprised you didn't, because, you know, you make friends very easily.
Yeah.
So it just seems like an opportunity for you to add somebody else to your list of friends.
Oh, I do. Listen, but I didn't have, that ride went by so quickly. I never had the opportunity to even tell her that I run the show with you. Like there was no time. We just were going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, like tennis.
Yeah.
It was just back and forth. When I do have the opportunity, I do tell people, and there's actually quite a few people that I've met on the rideshare that now follow and listen and like, and I appreciate that.
Yeah.
And I hope that you're learning something, other than me yelling at you, get your feet off of the seat.
Or stop posting about your You being sober? That's so funny. That's like a very Curb Your Enthusiasm kind of topic right there.
Yeah.
Do we really need to post it all the time? We get it.
Like, I get it. But day 4,176, like, can't you wait till day 5,000? Like, I think there's a comedy bit in there. It's like, all these people trying, like, oh, I'm sober. Yeah, well, guess what? I'm not sober. So are you? What do all the kids say? What are you alcohol shaming me?
Oh my God!
Right?
No way.
Yeah, because that's what people do now. Oh, you're shaming me. No, bitch. I'm making an observation. It's called an observation. Oh, you're shaming me. I'm like, no one's shaming you. Okay, you're not a puppy. No one's sitting and rubbing your nose in it. Like, relax yourself. I hate that. I hate when people say, you're alcohol shaming me. You're slut shaming me. I'm like, well, you're a fucking slut. Like,
I know. Remember the days where you're just like, yeah, I guess I am.
Yeah.
Just admit it. Who cares?
Accept the responsibility and move on. Why do you have
skin?
Everyone takes the victim mentality nowadays. Now I'm totally old man right now. I'm totally old man. But it's true. All these young kids, they get in the car and they're like, oh my God, my mom took away this, or mom won't let me do that, or dad. I'm like, oh God, shut up.
Oh, you are old now.
Shut the hell up. What are you fucking crying about? Like, it's just bad. Or you get like these young kids that are, on YouTube making a lot of money, and nobody really ever taught them the financials.
No, yeah.
And so they're blowing through all their money, and they have like, Louis Vuitton shoes, Chanel, and it's like, good luck with all those assets. Like, it's true. You could be gone in an instant tomorrow. We could all be gone. Can you take it with you?
No.
So why the fuck are you spending all that money on that shit?
Yeah. It's weird.
It's
a weird time.
It's weird. It's a piece of fabric that somebody said Chanel, and you're like, oh my God, I have to have it. Which is, to me, that's asinine. But whatever.
And some of it's really ugly. I'm gonna be honest with you. Some of it you look at it, and you're like,
because it only fits on a wire hanger. It doesn't even fit on people. And these are my D's, man. All of my crazy things that come out of my mouth and my head. Like, I think about these things on a daily basis.
I do too. I just never bring them up. I'm kind of glad that you kind of say them, and then I can just agree.
Well, another thing that I never understand also too is the people that speed down like a block.
From one light to the next.
From one light to the next, and it's like, what was the point of that? Like, gas is expensive.
So you're looking at it through a monetary. I'm sure most of those people, like, their parents pay for their gas. You know what I'm saying?
Gas is expensive. What are you doing? What's wrong with you? And why? And you're in a Suzuki. Like,
it's not even a nice car.
It's like, and you're like, okay, wow. And I'll sit in the back and I'll clap. I'll be like, good job. You got
really made it.
one car length ahead of me. How does that feel? I wish I could have like a Mr. Microphone and be like, how do you feel now?
Off the top of your car.
You just bypassed one car.
You're so perfect.
Oh my God, you're amazing. You're amazing. I'm car shaming you. No, I'm speed shaming you.
It's just everybody in this town is so impatient. They really, really are, especially when it comes to driving.
I think it was the vaccination.
Yeah.
I think there was something in the vaccine
just made us crazy.
that was angry, because I feel like it's gotten bad. There's a lot of people that are not patients, and I find myself doing it too. I won't do it when people are in the car. I will say this: there is the only thing that I will do is when people are on the phone and you see the head down, and they're right. Because for some reason, when people type, they move.
Yeah.
Like, if you really pay attention, people will like, and if you go home tomorrow, watch, I bet you everyone's going to be like, do I move when I type? You're going to look in the mirror, and you're going to be like, but people move when they type.
Because they get excited. They get all into their conversation.
They go back and forth like.
We no longer have one-on-one conversation. It's all in the phone, so the emotion, everything comes through.
So I can see it so on purpose. Before the light even turns green.
Yeah, I did too. I used to do that on the bus, because when it comes to a bus, when you hit the gas, the bus doesn't move right away because it's such a heavy machine. So if they're taking so long in the light and they don't go, by the time I hit the gas for the bus to move, yellow. Then I got to wait a whole nother light.
Oh,
so that used to drive me nuts.
In your old position, minutes were important.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God.
I know. It was a nightmare.
I couldn't deal with that.
No. Yep.
I would run people over.
Oh, trust me. It almost came to that one day.
I can't. Yeah. So anyway, I'm just shaming everybody today.
Yeah, that's what we're thankful for, that we are living in a country to shame you.
Shame, shame, shame. D's miss. Shame, shame, shame. One thing that I shame people for also too. Let's see what else is there. Little crazy things. Why is it when you go to Trader Joe's, or I don't know what executive woke up one day and was like, "We're gonna build the smallest, the brightest." I mean, because when you go to Trader Joe's, you like walk in and it's like, oh my God, am I going to get an anesthesiologist? Like the illumination there is so bright. I always find myself like, I can't answer that question. And then by the time my eyes get adjusted, it's like the weirdest people. And they are racing through Trader Joe's, or they're not racing. There's nothing in the middle. There's just somebody on their phone, or somebody staring at you, or somebody squeezing the fruit.
Yeah.
And it's just, it's a lot. And on top of that, it's the smallest store. Like all the Trader Joe's stores are so small, and they don't make an effort to make them bigger.
Bigger, yeah.
Like the product is flying off the shelves, and there's an actual person. He's like trying to stock things, and people are come up and they're like,
"Can I get that? Can I get that?"
Yeah.
I've been there, yeah.
Yeah, and I feel so bad for them. Like, oh my God. And so now you've got a combination of boxes in the aisle, carts in the aisle, which I don't think are safe.
It's a hazard.
Someone's going to fall and get sued. And then you've got people that are like looking for things. It's like always Black Friday in there, and it's Monday.
There's always a line to get in.
And
sometimes.
there's always a line. And then comes the art of trying to check out, right? It becomes a sport. You are, you've gotten all of your things. You've just figured out it's time to check out, and you go over to the checkout, and you're like, you're doing the bob and the weave, and you're looking for the shortest line. Let's just be honest. We always look for the shortest line. And then there are those people that take it a step further. Because I just look for the shortest line, right? Like I think that I have a sane mind and mentality. But then there are those people, and you see them, and they're counting. They're counting all the items. And then they go the next, and they're kind of in their head. You can see them pointing and like counting and trying to like tally it up
to see who's gonna go faster.
To see who's gonna go faster. I'm like, that's a lot of work.
That's a lot of paying attention that you do to people. Though I've never actually seen somebody do that. But the fact that you know that happens is kind of weird. Yeah, it's true. I'm not.
I notice everything. Like I try not to be nosy. Like I cannot shut my brain off. And I think going back to really quick to Disneyland, I think that's why I enjoy Disney so much, because they think of everything.
Yeah.
You are like shrouded in the mystery, and I enjoy that sometimes
because you don't have to think so much.
I don't have to think so much, right? But so you're at Trader Joe's, and like you see the people, and then you're like, oh, there's an open line, and as you're making your way to it, right, like that theme song comes on, do, 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 right, and you're just walking, but the other person is just like. And you feel them suck the air out of the room as they try to make it too, and then they like. And then they get there first. And you're like, okay, I'll just get behind you. It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of crazy. Like, maybe I'm crazy. Are you shaming me because I look at it?
I am not. I thought that was so funny that you actually have like visually looked at somebody and could see them counting in their head.
Oh,
I've
Louis,
never done that.
There are different types of Trader Joe's shoppers.
Oh, yeah.
There is the shopper that is like looking for the deals. There's the shopper that when she gets to the counter is making sure that everything is getting rung out correctly, which I get that. I totally get it. If you're on a budget or whatever and you're down to the penny, I mean, I don't think you should be shopping at Trader Joe's, but
just gonna say that.
On the other end of that, you know what I mean? Like grocery outlet.
That's a good one.
Maybe make a stop over there. So then you've got the one person that as the checker is pulling things out of the bag or out of the cart, it's that one person that's like, those are eggs, right? Or
put my eggs on top.
Yeah, that's my arugula. Be kind to my bread, right? And you're like, it's so fucking stressful. It's gonna go. You're gonna bite it. It's gonna go in your mouth. And you're going to macerate it. It's going to get ruined anyways. I hate to break it to you, right? And then there's the person that wants to talk. Oh, my God, how's your day going? Oh, my God. You're like,
the worst.
Oh, my God. And, of course, it's always, no offense, it's always an older person. Because this is like the only outing that they've had all week. And it's the only moment they have an opportunity to engage and talk to someone.
Yep.
And I don't really say anything now. Before I'd be like, but now I'm just like, oh God, I hope that I'm not that person one day. Like, I feel like, oh shit, is that going to be me? Am I going to be that one person? I mean, I'm already turning into an old man already over here.
I think you do enough talking on the show. You're okay.
Oh, God. Yeah, so you have all these different people in the Trader Joe's line, and it's just crazy.
Yeah.
It's so crazy. The price checkers, the counters, the people, and then there's the gossiper.
Yeah.
Who, if you get in their line, they'll turn to you and go, oh, I had this girl last time. Right? And you're like, okay. She wasn't very
She's
nice.
not very fast.
Yes, exactly. She's not very nice. And you're like,
Oh my God.
I
that is so
didn't
funny.
ask for this information, but then they're saying there with their arms folded and they're like, yeah. See, look. She's not paying attention.
You know, it's funny you bring that up. Talking about, grandma earlier. Grandma used to be that way sometimes when we go to the store, and she'd be like, "Those are my eggs. That's my bread." Oh, I remember. She wasn't very fast. It's just stuff like that. It makes me laugh.
It's true, and I guess at some point, we're all gonna be one of those people.
Yeah.
I just don't want it to come so soon. So I guess I'm thankful. I'm thankful that I'm not quite there yet, or am I?
You be the judge.
Oh my God. Oh my goodness. Oh, I mean, so with all of that in mind, anything you're thankful for, Louie?
I think I've kind of said it. Again, I want to thank everybody who has watched the show, who does interact with us, people who have been on the show, friends, family, and other celebrities. We've had one, which is great. Yeah, I'm thankful. I never would have thought all these elements would come together. Originally, it was just me and him, and I've gotten to know and meet a lot of new faces. I've gotten to talk to a lot of people, and I'm thankful for those interactions, and I'm thankful for the opportunity.
So with all that being said, we are very thankful, and we're not being cheesy. We're not saying, the word abundance and all this other fucking
Or
faces
blessed.
of grief or blessed and all that bullshit. I want to say thank you for making me feel lucky. Thank you for making me feel lucky. This has been an amazing platform to be able to talk shit. Basically, that's
Have a
exactly
good
what it
time.
is. We talk shit. There's no way to skirt around that.
Yeah.
There's no other adjective to bring into the mix or expletive other than we talk shit.
Yeah.
And I give my opinion. And whether it's appreciated or whether it's not, guess what? It's my point of view. It's my opinion. And you have your own opinion too. So that's the one thing that nobody can ever take away from you, no matter how much you protest. And again, with all that being said, I hope that your Thanksgiving tomorrow, colonizer killing day, whatever you want to say, is eventful, and it's happy to an extent in that you understand why you're celebrating. You understand why you're celebrating, and the people around the world that don't have an opportunity to celebrate.
Yeah.
So you should be extremely thankful, extremely, because we live in an area where a lot of things don't apply to us, and that is not always the reality. So remember to at least try to do it like Danny. And to the people at Trader Joe's, see you soon.